Do you guys want to hear something actually insane? Like, this happened to me, okay? I'm gonna start off with a story. Oh yeah, first, hi, my name's Heather. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. I have a little water in a Moscow Mule cup. Grab a coffee, grab a snack, whatever. I'm gonna tell you a story, okay? We're gonna chat, we're gonna hang out. So there's this person, let's call him Tom, okay? Tom was about 59, 60 years old, somewhere around that. Tom had a job, a whole life, worked in the same career for however many years, doesn't matter. Tom left town one weekend to hang out with his friends, have a nice guys weekend, whatever. Well, Tom died. I know, like this story, you're probably like, what is going on? So yeah, Tom died. Tom was also 1 year away from retirement. Let that sink in. Tom's job opened up. I applied to Tom's job and I got his job. I filled his position. I took their job and someone can take my job. Remember, you guys, everything is temporary. Nothing lasts forever. Nothing's for certain forever. The only constant is change. Sorry, my cat keeps meowing. I think he's hungry. But okay, that's not even the insane part. The insane part is I went to my desk, which was Tom's old desk, right? And there was a calendar and I thought it was blank. It was like one of those flip calendars. I started flipping to the month of March so then I could fill out some dates that I was doing things. I look and I see March 6th through the 16th with a little arrow going all through the dates saying Alaska. Y'all, that was Tom's calendar. You guys, I did not know who Tom was, right? But when I saw Alaska written in the calendar, I like freaked out. I thought that was so weird. Like not weird, weird isn't the right word to explain it. It's just like very daunting and very like, holy sh. Tom had this trip planned to go to Alaska in March, but they died last fall. And I literally took their job. Like, it's such like a weird, unique feeling I felt. Seeing Alaska written on that page just clarified and verified that we need to seize the day. You don't know when you're going to die, okay? This whole story is a pivot into what I want to talk about, which is what I learned from my unemployment. I was unemployed for about 6 months. I used to live in Houston, Texas, worked there. Something happened with my job, no longer worked there. I was like, So my story is I ended up staying in Houston and paying month to month. And then I ended up moving to Arizona and with family and applied for jobs. And fast forward, I'm here in North Carolina and I have a job and I really like it. So yay, yay, employment. But also, employment. I understand we live in a capitalistic society and that we need to make money to survive and blah, blah, blah. But also I might go on a tangent. I don't know how long this video is gonna be, but like, stick with me, you guys, stick with me. After grad school, when I got a job, like my first real job with a 401k and benefits, I worked a few years and then I was like, I had like an epiphany or just a thought and I'm like, is this really what life is? Just like working. It's like the rat race, right? Like working to make money, to use some PTO to go on trips, which like is great. We love the PTO, we love traveling, we love going to festivals, all the things. But like, I don't know, just like being on someone else's time for the rest of my life up until age 60 or 65 or whatever the number is now, 72 if the government wants to raise it. I don't know. Stupid. But I'm just like, is this really what it is, you guys? Like, what? I had that thought in my first job and okay, COVID happened. And at the beginning of COVID, I had like a 2-week period where I was sent home, like where I worked, we all had to go home, but we were paid for it. 6 months later, I got COVID and had to stay home for 10 days. And honestly, looking back, I still remember it. Honestly, reflecting and looking back, during that time in 2020, I enjoyed being home so much and just having those 2 weeks in the spring and the 10 days in the fall. Well, I was like really sick in the fall, but like those 3 week to a month period between the full year to just like be at home and rest and just talk to friends, talk to family, like chill out. Because I feel like, okay, if we're working, especially if you're younger, I don't know about you, but me, if I take PTO, I'm gonna use it on something. I'm gonna go travel. I'm gonna go do something. Like, I don't wanna take a day of PTO to just sit in my house and do nothing, right? And maybe that will change when I get older. Like, let me know in the comments, like, do you use a PTO day to actually, like, do you travel to use it or do you stay home? Or like, I mean, obviously, maybe a little bit of both. Oh my God, sorry, I have something in my eye. I just feel like America, and I know other countries are different, but America, we just don't rest. And it's like the time off we get, we feel obligated to do something, right? So when I was unemployed for those 6 months, you guys, the feeling I felt back in 2020, in like, I think it was like April or May, I had those 2 weeks of, I forget the word. It was like I almost wanted to say severance pay. Do you guys watch that show? I just finished it. So good. But no, it wasn't severance. It was like, it started with an R, I think. I don't remember. Anyway, it was pretty much like not working, but still getting paid. So money, yay. So after I no longer worked for my job, those 6 months until now I'm working again, those were so nice, and I reflected on so many things. I just got to rest. Part of me felt guilty because I'm like, I'm not working. Like, I'm not being a productive member of society. But like, with how toxic my job was, oh, yeah, let me get into that. Oh yeah, I have a whole list. Okay, sorry, this is my undiagnosed ADHD. This video, we're gonna get through this, okay? We're at 12 minutes. We're only gonna go to 20, okay? I promise this isn't gonna be a super long video. So, what I've learned from my unemployment, okay? And I will circle back around to Tom, okay? Being in a toxic job will literally kill you. My time in Houston, it was fun, and I met a lot of people, did a lot of really cool things, but my base level, because my job was toxic, my leaders were just bad, there wasn't good education or training. I met some super cool people, don't get me wrong. Like, some of my old coworkers, like, we still talk and they're great, but some of my other coworkers, toxic. Nope. All I want to say is being in a toxic job will literally kill you and make you depressed and make you anxious. And if you feel that way in your job, that's not normal. Okay? Like, let me tell you, that is not normal. Some of my coworkers, the job that I worked at with them, that was their first job out of college, and they were pretty much just like, oh my God, this is it. This is like life. And I'm like, no, I swear to God, like, it's not it. Like, there's so much better job opportunity out there. So let me just tell you, if you're in a stressful job, like, get the fuck out. Life is short. You can be like Tom and die tomorrow. Do you want to be in a stressful, toxic ass job, go to sleep at night and die, and then just like your last day of your life is working for a toxic job? No, like, get out of that job. Like, I don't care what you have to do. It's not worth it, okay? Like, I don't care how many hurdles you have to go through. You are worth so much more than your toxic job. I swear to God, like, your base level every day when you wake up and go to work should be like calm and like, you guys, now I wake up, and because I moved and everything, I had like a complete reset, and I wake up at 5 a.m. and do yoga. And I look forward to going to sleep so that I can look forward to waking up and do yoga. Who am I? I don't know. Anyway, toxic job will kill you. That's my first point. Second thing I've learned. After college, I had $50,000 worth of student loan debt. I was on the Dave Ramsey train. I know he's very controversial, whatever. I used his methods to get out of debt. I'm just gonna say, I got out of debt. Took me 5 years, but I did it, okay? Actually, I got out of debt like 2 months before I stopped working for that job. So divine timing, you guys. I don't know. But saying that, I also had an emergency fund. And if you are super young right out of college, like, obviously you're not gonna have money to set aside and like build up a huge emergency fund. But like, I had a little emergency fund of like $1,000, and then I paid off all my debt. Went to, I still traveled, did some festivals, lived life. Of course you have to. I would have paid it off a lot sooner, I tell you that, but whatever. After I paid off my debt, I started, well, no, even like within paying off my debt. I'm sorry, my ADHD. All I'm saying is I had about 3 months worth of like an emergency fund. So that's why from the time like I lost my job, like I was in Houston like 2.5, 3 months before I moved in with my family, because I had that emergency fund. So like there's a bee that just came into my apartment. Oh my God, can you go outside please? No, go back outside. No. You guys. Oh, thank you, okay. Thank you. Anyway, okay. Obviously everyone is in a different part of their life right now when it comes to personal finance. And I understand that, but like, please, I'm begging you guys, please save up an emergency fund, because if I didn't have that emergency fund, I would have been so fucked. And I'm so grateful to past Heather that I had an emergency fund. I would have had more if I didn't like dump money in my student loan debt. So if you don't have any debt, like there's no excuse not to have an emergency fund. I know like so many people have lifestyle inflation, and right when you get your job, you end up spending on eating out, fucking alcohol, like other stupid shopping. Like you guys don't need that shit, okay? You should save up. Please save up. Like again, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, but if I didn't have that emergency fund, I would have been so fucked. Okay, hold on. I'm running out of space. I just noticed that there's like a cat toy on my yoga mat. So that's what that is, if you guys are wondering. Yeah, I just have my yoga mat out all the time so I can sit down and do yoga every morning. The sun is going down, so it's getting darker. So that's my cue to hurry up. So when I started running out of money, I moved to Arizona, Tucson, Arizona, and into my mom's house. And when I moved there, my mom was in the Midwest for an extended period of time. So I was just living in that house with my sister. And I'm 30 years old, right? So a 30-year-old moving in with their parents is like embarrassing, right? Whatever. No, it was actually so fun, you guys. Me and my siblings are pretty close, but because we all live so far away from each other, well, I live far away from my sister and brother. They all live in Arizona. Literally the last time I lived with my sister, I was 18 and she was 12. We are completely different people now. I moved in November, and then so December, January, February, and then I moved here to North Carolina in end of February. So I had 3 months to live with my sister, and my mom eventually came down around like Christmas time. And it was like so nice to just like be in the house with family again. And I just like, I left home when I was like 18, 19 and lived in Alabama. Like I've like always lived really far away from my family. What I'm saying is this unemployment made me realize, one, it's okay to ask for help. If you have a good relationship with your family, don't be afraid to ask them to move in. Like obviously everyone's situation is different, but both of my parents were happy to have me. I'm just so grateful that I had that time to live with my mom and my sister, because like really the last time I spent that much time with them was when I was in high school. And you know, obviously if you still live in the same town as your family, that's different. You see them a lot more. But for someone, like I'm sure a lot of people can relate to me, like you move across the world or across the country, or like, you know, even if you're like an hour away from family, like you just don't see them as much, and like you have to put an effort to see them. But yeah, I don't want to go on a even more larger tangent, but I guess I'm just grateful that I did move back home, because I was able to spend so much time with them. And I spent a lot of time with my brother too. He lives up in Phoenix. The mindset I had with my unemployment was I treated it like a mini retirement. Yes, a little part of me was stressed that, you know, I felt like a piece of shit sometimes, like, oh, you're not a productive member of society right now. But then the other part of me is like, girl, like be present, enjoy this time. And so many people told me that. They're like, dude, like you're gonna be 6 months into working your new job and look back at that time and wish you could transport back to that time so you could sleep until 11 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, you guys, like, no, like my sleep schedule was so messed up. That was kind of my natural sleep cycle. I definitely am more of like a night owl, and I would stay up till like 2 a.m. and then wake up at like 10. But like now I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I can be a morning person or a night person, and I think anyone can. You just have to like train yourself. But also like I've seen research where some people's like hormones are different. So like some people are truly night owls or morning people. Overall, yeah, I treated my 6-month unemployment like a mini retirement, and I honestly want to plan it again. That's essentially like a sabbatical, right? When you're working for a company, and if you take like a year off, unpaid, that's what a sabbatical is. I will definitely be doing one of those. And if my company that I'm working for, like now or in the future, wherever, if they don't want me to do sabbatical, then honestly planning to quit your job and then have another job lined up like 6 months later. And I think you should do it too, because let me just tell you, the peace and just like the freedom I felt from being unemployed for those 6 months felt so nice. Going back to that COVID time where I got paid to stay home, that was so nice. Obviously finances are a huge thing. Like you have to plan for it, okay? Like, I don't know, I'm 30 now, but if I could do another 6-month leave or sabbatical when I'm like 34, every 4 years, honestly. We go through high school, that's 4 years. A lot of people do like that, what do they call it? They take a gap year. I feel like we need gap years as adults. I feel like other countries do that too, but we need to work like 4 years, save up money, be financially responsible, and then take a fucking gap year, you guys. Throw your shit in storage or like rent out your house and go travel Southeast Asia. I don't know. Good, just, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. All I'm saying is this mini retirement concept, I like this idea. Like I would rather take 6-month breaks or year breaks throughout my entire life every couple years than wait until I'm 60 years old or however old and then retire and then be not as healthy and strong as I am now. Yeah, I might be richer, but like what if I'm weak, or what if I get a health injury or something, and like what if I fucking die? Like what if I die? Like what if I'm like Tom? And again, I don't know Tom. He could have lived his life to the fullest and been great going out. But then also there's so many people on their deathbeds. Oh my God, I have a book. I need to find this book. Okay, it's called The 5 Regrets of the Dying. And it's about this Australian woman. She's like a nurse, or pretty much like a hospice nurse, and she goes to people's houses and hangs out with them and takes care of them in their last like weeks or months of their life. And she has multiple points. I read this book a few years ago, so I'd have to like look it up. But pretty much, oh, sorry. I just scared my cat. Pretty much, I don't know what Tom's life was like, but I know what I want for my life. And I don't want to be regretting my life on my deathbed. And I feel like your job is so important. If you have a good job and you love your job, great. But even if you love your job, I think you deserve to take a break, take a 6-month break, year break, and go explore the world or stay at home, do something like paint, get into music, become a DJ, I don't know, follow your passion, like hang out with your kids more. Like, I don't know. I'm just so passionate about this, and I feel like this is way longer. This video is way longer than what I expected it to be, so I apologize. But okay, I have a few more points here. Also, do you hear the dog howling? I feel like the dog across the street or across the hall from me has separation anxiety, unfortunately, because I hear that dog all the time. The point of this video is honestly seize the day. I feel like you guys know that, but I experienced it through my unemployment journey, and then also seeing that calendar that had Alaska written on it really freaked me out, and I just needed to talk about it. So thank you guys for giving me the space on YouTube to talk about that and talk about mini retirement, fun employment, and how we all need time to just rest and recover and look inward with what we actually want with our lives. You know, like obviously we all have to make money and grind and live in this capitalistic society, but I truly believe that there is a way to find balance. Everyone's situation is different, and how you find that balance is different, but I feel like everyone can find it. So with that, thank you guys so much, and I will see you next week. And just remember, we're all gonna die, so live your life. But also like plan for retirement, like invest money for your future. So just, I'm like over here like live your life, but like no, save money for retirement. Put money in your 401k, that's what I'm saying. You don't wanna Anyway, okay, I'm gonna stop the video now. Love you guys, bye.